Hi everyone. I've got quite a lot on my mind at the moment, and I haven't had a good yap session in quite a minute in my life, so figured this would be a good time to kind of do that. Now, I did want to warn anyone who's currently, not in the best mood, not in the best kind of headspace, that I will be talking about some things that may be triggering, such as childhood abuse, trauma, all sorts of fun things. I'm sure some people who are listening to this are gonna be like, "Wow, this is gonna be a joyful video." Well, it's certainly gonna be something, I suppose. But I've simply got a lot of things going on in life at the moment, and I think it's important for me to really express how I'm feeling, but also just to sort of share it so that both other people can hear it and hopefully feel comforted by it, and just to sort of give my own perspective of how I view my own kind of lore, I guess, my own trauma and everything, and that sort of deal. Anyways, yeah, here lately I've been really going through the ringer, and I'm not quite sure why. I think I've just simply am burned out. I think my body's burned out is what it is. So what's been happening here lately is that I've been having a lot of traumatic flashbacks occurring, and what that looks like is essentially like I'll be doing a normal daily activity, right? Whether that's just working or doing chores or even just doing luxury kind of things, like whatever. I sort of get these very this very vivid imagery inside of my head of things that happened to me in the past, in which that creates fuel for anxiety into my body, and very severe anxiety to the point where, like, for my work, for example, I'm basically having to quit my job because I just need to find like a calmer job due to what's going on at the moment. But I'm having to quit because I'm experiencing these flashbacks, and they're starting to become very physical and physically manifesting in my body to where I'm feeling very weak. You know, I'm a very lazy and fatigued person in general. I don't know why. I mean, it could be just because of things that happened to me in the past. I don't really know. I'm just very tired in general. I've been working on getting that fixed, but I've had something weird happen, which the only way I can kind of describe it is weakness. So it's almost separate from my fatigue, and I've noticed it ever since the beginning of this year of 2026. So I start to get really weak in my body. Almost feels like my muscles are kind of failing in on themselves, and I just want to fall to the ground. It's really hard to breathe. It's really hard to think. I just feel very weak, like an old man. It's very strange. Again, it's separate from my fatigue. I don't know how to describe it. It's just I could deal with my fatigue, but this weakness causes me to really just be unable to both physically and cognitively function properly. And, well, I'm trying to see if I can see a therapist about it here soon. I'm looking into EMDR therapy, but I kind of already know how to deal with this sort of thing, which is that when it comes to trauma, you just have to process it, essentially. That's why it comes back up. It's because these things, when these things occur to you, depending, it doesn't matter when you're a kid, when you're a teen, an adult, you can experience trauma at any point, obviously, but during the moment, your body tries to protect you from the moment itself because of how scary or whatever, it is in the moment. So just during my adolescence, really, I experienced so many fearful things that sent shocks into my body, where, I've experienced things like disassociation, for example, just to be able to cope with what was happening. But now that I'm out of that and I'm actually in a safe space, my body is saying, okay, we need to go back to that. Rewind the clock, buddy. It's time to start actually processing what the hell just happened to you. And it's not fun. Not at all, because you're just trying to enjoy life. You're just trying to do whatever. It can be quite disturbing too, because you're essentially reliving these moments that you experienced so long ago. And initially you're always like, why? I don't want to. Like, what? Why would you show me this again? We've already been through it. You're showing me like a final kill cam of of this again? Like play of the game. Like, I don't want to see this again. What is wrong with you? But it's simply because your body sort of does keep the score, and not like when I say that, like, there's a lot of ways to kind of view that. I'm not. It's like a whole other discussion of how the body keeps the score. But your memories sort of keep the score, right? Like, you have memories of these events that occurred, and depending on how severe it is, it can just pop back up in your life, and it can really, really screw with you. So I dealt with not necessarily abuse towards myself, but I witnessed a lot of violence as a kid. I saw a lot of blood. I saw a lot of things I just should not have seen. I heard a lot of shouting. I heard a lot of things that was just not peaceful. It's not a suitable environment for a child. So that sort of thing just comes right back up. And during my teenage years, I've had issues with family members. I've had issues with my own self, and trauma, like, it can be like sort of a mild thing too. It depends on what you want to call trauma, really. But if you experience like social anxiety and you have like social trauma from being, just having very severe insecurities and that sort of thing, that can be trauma too, and that can come up as well. That doesn't personally come up for me, but I'm just giving examples of what can come up. So mine unfortunately was a lot of violence. Mine unfortunately was a lot of disturbing topics just in general, and a lot of disturbing things I just had to process with my own family. And thankfully, I have a lot of loved ones near me who care very deeply. I'm very blessed to have just family in general and loved ones, friends who just check up on me and say, hey, are you okay? Like it's such a beautiful question. And when you start to really just have more love in your life and you witness that question, you just think to yourself, man, I'm lucky. I'm so lucky. I really am. Because of how much I experience, it's sometimes hard to realize the weight of people's love towards me. Because, again, I used to deal with things like disassociation, DPDR, whatever. And that sort of prevented me from realizing that people cared for me. So, and I still carry that just to some degree. But, I don't know. I definitely realize it more now, thankfully. And I just want to tell anyone out there who, if you experience this to any degree, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like severe trauma, it could just be like, depending on how good you handle breakups, for example, whether it's mild or really bad, processing these things is necessary. So take a moment to just breathe in a room or go on a walk. Take a moment for yourself to just really acknowledge what you're feeling. And if it's too overwhelming, if it's too much to deal with, if you have people near you, ask for help. Talk to them. Say, hey, I'm having a hard time right now. Can you please just be here for me as I try to process my emotions and my thoughts? You have to care for yourself. And if bringing others into that helps you, that's okay. Even medication is a tool to help you manage your emotions. For some people just need medication just to feel okay. Like, that's understandable. Maybe you just have a chemical imbalance. But if you're just struggling with intense, severe emotions and you need something to help you manage that, to sort of funnel and filter those emotions so that it's not as hard to deal with, so you can slowly process them, then it's okay. You can take those, Whatever you have at your disposal to sort of just help you mitigate the effects of what you're going through. do it. It's worth it. Because living with this much tension in your shoulders and chest or wherever you feel it is not okay. And you shouldn't have to deal with that. You should be able to just live your life and lay in bed and be able to breathe without it being any sort of struggle tied to it. The first time I started to really heal, I noticed that for the first time in a long time, the deep breaths I would start to take felt like one I hadn't took in years, like I was literally breathing in my new life. And I think everyone deserves to breathe with clarity and not this weird foggy mess that just is so hard to deal with. I will end up okay. I really don't have that much to say. I think I'll keep this a short video, but I do think that I will end up okay. It's really hard. It's really, really hard, and it's causing issues for me. And you know, it's going to be a slow process of me getting through all these things. Unfortunately, just sometimes it takes time. It really, really does. I don't know why it has to, but it just does. But I have personally seen the proof for myself, and I know that it's all going to be okay. I don't know if I'll do more of these in the future. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's all I have to say right now. So I hope everyone who's listening is feeling just fine. And well, if you enjoy this content, then stick around. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.